Is your money with DRS actually safe and secure? So this is a question that has come up a few times actually when I conducted my recent survey over the frequently asked questions Plan 3 and Plan 2 members have. I really wanted to address this because the fact is your money is not safe nor secure when it's with DRS. If you're on Plan 3, it's two parts. If you're in Plan 2, it's just one part. The pension side of things, which is all of Plan 2 and half of Plan 3, is for the most part going to be there. So Washington State actually usually ranks in the top 10 as far as, ability to meet their debt obligations when meeting the pension needs. So as far as, is the pension going to be the retire, which is a question I get a lot too? More likely, yeah. Washington State's pretty darn good, especially when you look at LEF, which is law enforcement firefighter funds. They actually had an excess amount in their LEF fund that they ended up giving enhanced benefits. They gave lump sums to everyone that was retired, and they actually gave a higher benefit calculation to anyone currently working or both now and in the future. So Washington State pension funds are pretty solid. However, when it comes to your defined contribution, right? So people on Plan 3, right? Your investment portion, or if you're on DCP, because they're the same things. That money is not safe nor secure, right? Unless you're in the money market fund, which is basically cash that pays next to nothing, then you could be kind of flat. But other than that, there's nothing guaranteeing that you're not going to lose money with the state. And this question often comes up when I say, hey, lately I've been doing a lot of Roth conversion videos, and people say, hey, if I do a Roth conversion, I go from Plan 3 over to a Roth IRA, I have to hire a different investment company. I'm going to lose the safety and security of my DRS account. There's no safety here. It's the same exact thing. The WSIB, right, the Washington State Investment Board, the group of people that manage the investments in here are no different than the investment board that manages all the other mutual funds and ETFs at the various other investment companies out there. So in terms of safety and risk, there's really no difference there. The reason we like to move from Plan 3 to the IRAs is you have more control, you have more investment options, and it allows you to do Roth conversion and other various tax strategies. That's the reason why you move. You don't stay with DRS because you think they're safe and secure, or because they have a good track record of things. There's really nothing protecting them. In fact, if you look at the WSIB, right, the TAP fund, which about 2/3 of teachers still have money in, while they haven't lost money in the last 10 years, including in 2022, they actually just posted their physical numbers. They were up about 5% during this last year when compared to everything else. However, you got to keep in mind though that inside that WSIB fund, they actually have some other investments such as private equity, which when you invest private equity, you don't know what they're doing because they're not publicly traded. They don't have to publish certain records to look at. So there's a higher degree of risk to it. They also have a good amount of real estate. Now in 2020, during COVID, we know that a lot of hotels, shut down, had a lot less business, things like that. If you look at WSB performance in that year, they did about 3%. So it wasn't negative, but 3%. Compared to S&P 500, they did 41%. So they outpaced what Washington State did by 37%. So it's not going to happen every year. But because they have investments set up in a certain way, especially when it's really tied to real estate, that's a real risk you could be letting yourself into. Now, if you look at the current environment, we're in a rising interest rate environment. People aren't buying as many houses. Investment properties aren't going for as much because it costs more to buy it. And that's the whole reason why they're raising interest rates. They want to slow the demand of money in the economy, which means real estate usually comes down. If the Washington State Investment Board has 20% of their money in real estate, in one way or another, it's going to be impacted from this move. So you might expect to see decreased earnings in the future. I don't have a crystal ball. Maybe it'll work out for them. But judging what happened back in COVID, if interest rates continue to rise, this is a real risk that might happen, and you may see it reflected in the WSIB accounts in the future. If you don't have money in the WSIB account, they actually put this WSIB fund into all of the target date funds, right? So if you're in the target date 2030, 2065, whatever it is, you actually have a portion of the WSIB account still, which means you still have real estate in your portfolio. Real estate's not a bad thing, just you need to know all the risks that are out there, especially in a rising interest rate environment. So if you're thinking, hey, is it safe and secure? My bonus is this account any more safe or secure than an IRA at Vanguard, Fidelity, or TD Ameritrade, or anywhere else? It completely depends on the investments that you select and when you get into them, as far as the degree of risk that you're enabling yourself into. If you don't like risk, that's when things like annuities come into play. The DRS has a lot of great ones, right? You have the TAP annuity, the TERS or PERS annuities, you can buy service credits. And then if you don't want any kind of income, that's when you look at the private market. They have some protected annuities out there that you can purchase if you're really trying to look for that kind of guarantee or protection of principal of your assets, right? So hope that was insightful for you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Remember that your future depends on what you do today.